Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have Kent State versus Ohio State. Big teams. Big teams. I'll be interested to see what happens. But how are you feeling today so far?
I'm excited. That was solid. That was really solid.
I don't feel like, honestly, until that very last match, and maybe Akron's push on Route 66, I don't feel like we really had too many blowouts.
No, not at all.
I think those are kind of the only two that stand out. Akron on Route 66 just doing a great job of getting that first point in that 5-minute mark, and then that second point in that, I think it was like 2:50.
Yeah. And that makes me Mark.
Yeah, mark. Time mark, like a mark of time.
Okay.
That's what he's confused by.
I see.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a room reference.
Not to my knowledge. Mark?
Mark?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey,
Steve Milk and I are on the same point. But yeah, I think other than those two pushes, I think it was pretty consistent, which is actually really strong.
I really hope that every match
is that consistent.
Because that's just gonna it'll make our jobs easier.
Yeah,
we won't have to just
talk less.
There won't be any of that. It'll all be yeah.
All right, hold on. No, he's not Mark Plyer.
No. Do you know? I don't look anything like Markiplier. I look a little bit like Markiplier.
A little bit like Markiplier. No, it's not. I'd be a lot more
He's
friendly.
He's from Cleveland?
Yes.
Cleveland?
Somewhere.
I'm from Columbus.
Yes. Yeah, he looks a lot like.
I'm the less.
He's from Cincinnati.
Is it Cincy?
Yeah, Cincy.
One of the 11 cities in Ohio that start with a C. Yo, what's up?
But yeah, I think you're right. I think the one thing and this is the entertainer being selfish in me. We didn't see really any tight edge moments. We didn't see any of those last second pushes.
Breakout.
There wasn't
anything
anything booming. I should break things. Ashland did their best trying to be consistent, just wasn't able to, but still put on a really solid showing at each match. Akron's just able to, force their way through, and I think, like I said, other than that Route 66 and the that last push on Volskaya,
yep.
I don't think there was too much. But getting back into Route 66, get familiar with this, guys.
Milk Steak, I would disagree. I think that's just the little bit of change that. Oh God, I'm trying to read too many things in chat and talk. I would disagree. The end of Route 66 was intense, more because there's just a lot of visual stuff going on. I think it was actually fairly controlled chaos. I don't think there was a whole lot because we didn't see any big team wipe and then team wipe,
right,
or half the team go away and half the team. There wasn't a whole lot of pushback. It was all just stalemate and then a quick falter and then there was points.
Yeah, it was a pretty one-to-one trade. Get familiar with these maps, guys. We're running these all day long. Route 66. You get to see it again, Platinum. You get to see Route 66 again.
Oh, God, it's all on fire.
Everything's on fire. Guys, something's wrong here. The train's not supposed to be like that.
Oh, Garrett, why'd you light the map on fire?
Come on. Gold Dust setting up. They're getting ready for the Kent State University. You've got Gold Dust and the Reaper. Opie Chow. Oh, this is going to screw us. Opie Chow rocking the Moira versus Gopi rocking that Sigma. Tito in the May. Lord Hades playing.
Oh, Reaper got spotted, though.
Yeah, Reaper didn't get the drop behind it they wanted to. It was a good eye, but did manage to clean out Respawn, taking out that Bastion, and early, kind of surprisingly early. Wow. Okay, Gold Dust. Okay. Oh, putting some hurt on Gold Dust, doing some really well-contained dropping.
This is solid.
Solid play from Kent. Keeping Ohio State, keeping them at bay. Ohio State shifting up a little bit. Respawn coming with that Pharah, switching off the Bastion. You know, this is what you see when you're. This is what we were talking about: the ability to adapt to the situation. Switching up to that pharmacy, losing the Bastion, being able to switch to that pharmacy. You know your opponents are locking down a strong defense right at the point. Great, let's get behind them. Let's rock it behind them, and that's what Ohio State is trying to do here with Respawn. Respawn 10% away from that barrage. There it is, and there it goes. And that's what was needed. This is how you adapt. It's all about adapting. I will say, though, Tito doing a good job of trying to lock in and hold on to that defense by just freezing up on block. Not enough.
See through the dragon's
Kent State respawning, holding out for that respawn as Ohio State keeps pushing forward. Respawn getting really far. I just realized that saying respawn and respawn is going to get real confusing.
I was trying to follow what you were saying, and I was like, but which one's the first?
Just think about it. But Respawn, again, doing that deep push and then diving back away.
Really forcing them to stay away from the point as it moves up around that harsh corner.
Because here's the thing, in this situation, what Kent State doesn't want to do, they don't want to sacrifice a life, they don't want to sacrifice a player just for the sake of, you know, trying to take out Respawn when they've got so much time. That being said, ooh, that's a bad corner to be in. That's a bad corner to be in.
That was a beautiful pigeonhole, just forcing them after they killed Gold Dust, forcing them all to wrap around that same pillar.
Let's flip it over to see Ohio State having a lot of those ults ready up. I want to see what Kent State's going to try and do.
You think Kent State's going to try and stop them one more time?
No, there's not enough. There's no point. They're at 4 minutes. Just let them get the point. Set up here. Really set up a good, strong point. But you've got two strong offensive, plus you've got Delhi with the gravity well. This is a rough ult combo to come into if you're Kent University. That being said, they do have the economy. They have that extra ult. There goes the Coalescence, followed up by the Blizzard, who's trying to keep Kent State off of. I'm sorry, keep Ohio State off of that wall, the 12 wall, taking down Respawn with that long distance icicle shot.
They really needed to as well. Respawn's been zoning them out and just getting that DPS up for so long.
Tito sneaking in behind to take out that squishy soft line, dropping Prosody.
Yeah,
And a pretty solid hold. A pretty solid hold from Kent.
And
No,
I
they
think
let
they
him get
even
in.
came out a little on top.
They
got
did a little bit.
better charge.
They just got a little bit more charge. Gopi about to have that gravity well.
Very good shield drop.
Both tanks having both ults. No DPS just yet with the ult, but Respawn getting back into what he does best. They do best.
Gopi Chow and Gopi getting melted a little bit on Kent State's side.
Yeah. I would admit the strength of Respawn is really helping out for Ohio State, but I don't know if it's enough to completely replace the strength that is the combo that Kent State's putting up right now. Kent State doing a good job of adapting to tactics. They know that Mercy Pharah combo is there. They know Pharmacy is getting those long distance shot on them, so they're adapting to that playstyle. Gold Dust sitting on that death block, sneaking in behind the shield, but is it enough? No, it's not, unfortunately. Good shield play coming out of Kent State. Strong shield play, keeping that death block from committing. Unfortunately,
Well, unfortunately nothing. Ohio State's still keeping the pressure on.
yeah, a good play. Another about turning.
Staggering their abilities, and unfortunately Mercy's might go down. Respawn with the barrage.
Yeah.
They're finally around the corner. All right.
They're making the turn. I was
Dang-a-rang.
about ready to just sign off on Ohio State, but no, they actually did a very good job of maintaining their consistency.
Look at us like, nah, OSU, they're not going to make it. But they were the dominant ones last go around.
Your support has arrived.
Setting up Velocity plus Respawn.
Got enough time for one more push here.
Again, that verticality is so important for this game, and
Streaming in like that, I don't
even
think that
getting
was a good
stunned,
plan.
Respawn not able to get taken out. Gopi trying to, getting a good stun on Respawn, but unable to commit it.
I think this was a little bit of a
There it
misplay
goes.
by Kent State, streaming in 2 and then 1 and
Yeah.
then 2.
Ohio State able to keep that push, capture their second point. 2 minutes left in the match.
I think Kent State just, oh, great shot. Very unfortunate. A little down to the wire here now.
Dragon Strike sneaking in behind the back. Dragon Strike, good clean 2 full pickups, 3 pickups off of that.
All the support.
Samuel doing a great job of just getting deep into the lines.
Oh, Sammy. Now he's just going to wait on that sideboard.
And you know, that could have been, that was good play. He didn't commit with his team. He hung back just in case what happened. Because Penn University dipping in behind, trying to get that flank on him, and Samuel flanked the flank.
Kent State burning through all their homes just to hold here.
But they seem to be managing to get at least a little bit of a pushback, which is good. They're able to at least force some of Ohio State back off of the payload.
60 seconds remaining.
Still, it's a little worrying to burn through pretty much all of their ults just to rebuff them even when they were 2 players down, when Ohio State was 2 players down.
I will admit, like, that being said though, OSU, it feels like when one person triggers their ult, like the second they got it, like there's a perfectly good example. The second Samuel got that ult, he dropped it. Was that the best time?
Well, it's just polite.
Is that it?
I see that you've opened the door. Well, here, let me open the door next to you.
I feel like there's a little bit of lack of communication. I feel like, I say that, and then Kent University just,
Yeah. Well, I blinked and it happened.
yeah, I didn't even pay that close of attention. Agobi's in there struggling to keep alive. He gets dropped by respawn. Switching up to the Diva just for the speed of getting on the point.
Hope he can get that hold off for literally nothing.
There's the Diva bomb. Is it going to be enough to stall this push? I don't think so. They are in overtime. Like, they at least held them into overtime. All they got to do is just clean up this last furry little wrecking ball. Gopi going down.
Opie going down.
Ohio State making that last push, and there it is in overtime. And I will say, it seems about on right. Every fight, there was a good trade. There was a good amount of pushing. I think, you know, it's kind of speaking to what we talked about in the last match. It's a similar idea. Kent State did a little bit over-committing in one spot, and when you've got maps where you can easily kind of choke people in, especially when you got your high DPSs like your Pharah or your Bastion, you gotta be really careful.
Yeah, you know, chat, I would agree. I would about the OSU just dropping the Qs like it's going out of style, and that being a bad thing if it wasn't working. But
And that's not
it's
necessarily
working.
I'm going to counter what you said.
Sure.
Their skill propelled them
Yes.
to getting that point. Could it have happened a little earlier if they had been a little bit more wise with that economy?
Oh yeah.
I genuinely believe so. Tito, doing that little pokey poke, seeing if he can do a little scouting ahead of time, making me a little bit visually sick. I'm getting a little nauseous. Anytime you want to change this angle.
No.
Thank
Hold there. Yeah. Oh, but he
No,
stopped.
he stopped moving.
Could have used a little more.
Oh wait, but you like Brig, right?
I love Brig.
Yeah.
Tyrant Panda, rockin' Brig, a hero, hometown hero.
Still no big pig.
No Big Pig.
5, 4,
Interesting that.
I think we know when we'll see Big Pig, and it's not. Interesting.
Oh, the Kobe Rock was a little too high.
Just a little north.
That would have made me very happy to see a rock that far away.
Ohio State playing back around that corner again, just, you know, and we've seen in both matches so far on this map, we've seen similar outcomes, or at least similar tactics. OSU sitting further back on that point, letting them get that initial push, letting them get to that corner, with the goal of holding them at the corner. But I worry that the momentum there is too, you know, I mean, there's too much momentum at that point. Letting them drop back. Kent State doing a great job of just managing OSU, keeping them off the point. A little bit of a weak wall, but actually ends up working pretty well in Ohio State's favor, or in Kent State's favor.
Yeah, I think Kent has been doing great. This push has been fantastic. Has hardly slowed at all getting around those hard corners.
No. Strong clearance from Opie, unfortunately getting taken out by Delhi, but still able to do a fair amount of damage. Again, payload stopped. Kent State kind of rebuilding, waiting on it, but they're about to come into a not too great situation when it comes to ults. Samuel about 20% away from his Dragon Strike. Prosody, Respawn, both coming up on theirs.
I think this is very wise of Kent State to hold back and wait and get everybody up to speed.
And maybe they're trying to trickle out those ults. Maybe just by keeping their distance, they're going to try and just, trickle out that one ill-timed ult, and there's, keep doing that.
Great headshot.
Right now, they're not in a position. Strong Stormbow from Samuel, getting a good amount of damage on the enemy Orisa.
Kent State is getting melted up front here around this corner.
Yep.
I think they pushed up a little too fast and a little too hard. When their flanks fell, everything just,
And OSU is able to keep it up there. And now, look at this economy.
Ohio State just ready to drop the. Oh, wait.
About to have
drop the hammer.
No, about to have. No, not yet. Wait, is Reinhardt playing?
Where's Reinhardt?
Reinhardt. But Ohio State University coming in with a full ult crew here in a few seconds. I don't know that Kent's going to be able to
all right, chat. Are you ready?
push.
Are you ready? Q.
Q.
Come on.
Q. There's one. There's two. Actually doing a pretty good job of holding out. Oh, never mind. I say that. There's three. Four. Doing a good job of clearing out.
Maybe they won't use all of them.
Doing a good job of clearing out, maintaining some of those ults, not burning through all of them like we were joking about, doing a very good job. Oh, just a punch to the face of Tired Panda. Tired Panda trying their hardest, but unable to commit that Bastion down.
Yeah. OSU still able to hold on to two ults, and
But
already
now we're in
Prossity's
interesting
most of the way back.
circumstances. So Kent University coming into their three ults versus Ohio State having two, not too far from Prosody with three. 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't know that there's much that Kent can do. I think we're going to have going to go into round three.
Again, I think they pushed up a little too hard.
Strong barrage, but unable to commit it. Getting taken out.
Beautiful immortality build by Prosody.
Able to save a good number of teammates.
Yeah.
And Ohio State's able to hold it.
Yeah, and
10 seconds left.
Sure, they had to queue on that one, but I don't think it mattered either way.
Oh, strong sleep dropping Opie.
I'm just going to go out and say it. GG OSU.
Yeah. There it is, yeah.
I think that was back-to-back. Kent State trickling in or just dropping in 2 of their 6 too early. They needed to either all go in at the same time or they needed to do something else, because both of those last 2 pushes, both tanks popped up way up front and had no support.
Yeah.
And just got melted. Also, this was beautiful.
This is, and again, you got to know your team cop. You got to know what you're going against. In those tight corners, you really can't find your entire crew in there, because that's what happens. A strong Pharah player, which we had, just sits in, fires his rockets, doesn't really need to aim. As long as you're kind of in the space, you're doing damage and you're able to file down, and that's what happened. You had a group clustered together, fire off a couple of those rockets, and you're able to do a good job of clearing it out. An impressive display from Ohio State. Kent
Dominant, really.
Kent doing a good job, but again, we never got past that first point, and Ohio State just was able to hold it a little bit longer.
Is this where we insert the worry?
Concern?
Concern.
It's map 1. I'm not gonna express the concern. Map 2, Ilios, a lot more variety, a lot more change.
It's true.
I'll be concerned about it then. But for right now, Route 66, honestly, pretty straightforward from what we saw last time too, last match. So
Yeah.
I think Route 66, it tends to be this. They're getting a feel for each other. They're getting a little bit. I think this is the map where we really start to make the decision. I think this is the map where we will really see what Kent State can do and how they're going to handle against OSU. Going into map 2, Ilios, a lot of variety in play, a lot of options. Whatever you talk about, the ability to get solid, consistent environment kills opens up a whole plethora of changes to gameplay style and maps. To hero choices.
Are you scared of the camera?
No.
Because it seems like you're running. Yeah.
I'm just a big guy, and my computer's over here, and I'm like doing.
Oh, okay.
Me. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm interested to see. Ilios is always kind of one of those maps that like really opens you up to the potential of a team. There's a lot of ways that you can get those capture points. There's a lot of opportunities, and kind of the goofiness of those environmental situations on like Lighthouse or Well when you've got those real easy environmental kills.
Yeah.
It's fun to play and it's fun to watch, but it also really shows the technical skill of both from a defensive side, like is your Orisa able to hunker down in time before the Lucio gets the bop? You know what I mean? Those really show those kind of quick second skills. So I'll be interested to see. How it does. What you looking for, bud?
Words.
I mean, there's a whole page of them.
Yes, but they weren't the words that I wanted.
Oh.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Just so you guys know, we do have other matches going on currently.
Yes.
They're just not up on the stream.
As much as we would love to actually be able to cast every single one of these matches at the same time,
There's only 2 of us
there's only 2 of us.
in one streaming setup.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
What?
hey. You want this?
What's happening? Oh, yeah.
Oh! Yeah, I mean, if we had eyes, that would be... Uh-huh.
This is information.
Professional. Pools,
Pools.
you say? All 2?
Yeah, right there.
This thing? Boop.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Sorry, guys. We're learning how to do this right now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and thank you, Garrett. Thank you.
See, yeah, wait. Why is that on us?
You know we're useless. We just talk.
Because I can't check this. Okay, yeah. Giving you options.
Oh,
I
I see
see.
options.
Okay.
I have a bag of chips right next to me. That's an option. Just eat them.
Ooh. Little nice jalapeno chips.
Moving into Ilios.
No, Garrett, that's not the one that we want the upskirt on.
Yeah, it's the big guy out to the right.
Yeah. We want to see those thighs.
Where is he? Where is he? Look. There he is, that guy. Can we acknowledge the historical and scientific damage that these individuals would be charged with for fighting at what can only be described as an ancient ruins filled with pots?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a World Heritage Site this is happening on.
There are people who have weddings here, like all the time, and just getting slow. You straight up just hit the microphone, like there wasn't even a denying it.
R.I.P.
Still currently playing. We are having Kent State University versus Ohio State University. There are other teams playing. It's just they're not on stream. Kent State rocking the Doomfist Moira Sigma Symmetra. If Tito keeps the Symmetra. I always feel bad calling it before this because I was doing the No, they're gonna keep the Symmetra. Oh, never mind. Yep. No. See? This is what happens when I get my hopes
Got all
up.
excited.
Clone? Yeah, we clone match. Okay, cool. Neat indeed. Opening followed.
Down goes Panda.
Ohio State, good job. Up there goes Lord of Hayes.
so far this season fairly evenly matched here.
And a little bit of trades here and there, but I will admit, losing that tank early on. Oh, I say that, and there goes Kent State losing 2 tanks.
Healer, keeping the pressure
DPS.
on. Rack it up as much as they can.
They've captured the point. Dropping back a little bit.
Well, they're not dropping back a whole lot there. They're really keeping the pressure on. Much cold burns they can.
Ooh, big hammer. Big old fist.
Straight up donkey punch to 3 people in the back of it.
What rating are you guys on? So far, I haven't cursed and you have, and then you referenced Donkey contesting the point. Kent State able to capture a little bit.
Claim the objective.
It's only worse when you point it out.
I know, but it's funnier when I point it out.
Well, again, OSU seems fairly dominant in this opening.
Yep. Holding back again. We're talking about the ults. Like we were kind of ribbing them earlier for the ult usage, but here it stands. You know, they've got the ult economy going into this fight. It's really a pristine time to use it. Here comes the meteor hammer. Big old yes.
A little bit of value.
A little bit of value, but able to disrupt that line, able to get into the back line, which is the most important thing about that, and actually doing a good job of cleaning up OSU's back line.
All right, Kent State.
Gold Dust.
Kind of wish they would keep the pressure going, though. I think that's, well, then again, maybe that's
Very
what...
nice spray. Yes, we're all very, yes.
Darn memers.
I know. We're all doing it for the play of the game. Out of their spawn.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay.
Too high on that boulder. Look, wow. All right. Kent State not playing around this time.
I think they took the kid gloves off.
I think so, but that being said, they better be ready because Ohio State's rolling in with five ults here in a moment. A lot of damage is going to be coming out.
Given they had pretty much all those ults before they got demolished.
That's fair. Yeah. Ohio State having a rough time despite having...
Let's go, Kent State.
Doing a couple
We're
pickups.
supposed to be in part.
No, we're not. Yeah, I mean, I'm just impressed. Honestly, like Kent State doing a really good job of managing those ults. That's a tough thing to do. Ohio State getting on point though, just enough. Just enough to give it a little bit of time, but nope, there it goes. Kent State capturing that first map here on Ilios against Ohio State. Weird.
Okay.
Weird. I definitely saw that going a different way, especially when you see Ohio State rolling in with 5 ults and really not delivering much on any of them.
No.
You know, and I would have felt different if there had been a Mercy on Kent that was doing a res, but nope, it just didn't connect.
They only lost 1. In each of those last two engagements, Kent State only lost 1 for every one of Ohio State's 2.
Interesting to see how this goes. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Correct. Epic. Rad.
Redemption online.
Going into Lighthouse.
Symbol.
Let's see if Ohio State's kind of been shook. Winning that first match was an easy time to kind of predict, like, you know, how they're feeling. But something went a little bit wrong in that last push.
That's being very aggressive here.
Pushing in. Waiting for that point to unlock.
Again,
Capture it.
Kent losing 1 for each of Ohio State's 2.
Ohio State unable to keep their teammates alive. Possibly doing the best they can, but
I feel shook in Ohio State's place. Oh my gosh.
Respawn getting back into that barrel, but getting immediately taken care of. And again, this is what we talk about. You gotta know your team. You gotta know who you're going against. You gotta adapt to that. Ken adapted. Ken adapted to that last match. It seems to be adapting pretty well now. Coalescence trying to take out the Pharmacy combo, unable to lock it down, but still doing a fair amount of damage, forcing him back a little bit. Respawn gets back up in the air. Kent State being forced back onto point.
Correct, no mistake. Kent State found it.
Respawn keeping up in the air, doing a little bit of poking from a distance.
Okay.
Up. All right. Ran out of fuel.
That was planned. It was planned. Yeah.
You're saying that like there's a lack of confidence in there. I don't think
It was planned?
it must have been.
Or did they just give up?
Well, to be fair, they did lose a fair number of players in that combat, so by letting themselves die, it allowed the respawn to happen all at once. But still, a little upsetting. Ohio State, again,
70% and OSU has barely touched the point.
on it maybe for a few moments, but not enough to capture.
Not at all.
Here they go, trying to go with a strong push. They've got the numbers on point now, able to file down, but Kent State comes back hard. Respawn rocking a barrage, but not really getting too much out of it, unfortunately. Only really able to take down Opie Chow. It's still being contested.
Is this a little too late for OSU? 5 versus
Maybe.
4. 3,
Oh, with a
2.
pretty, yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what happened. Ohio State,
My goodness.
Ohio State's had the pretty significant. There they finally get a capture on the point. Starting over at 1%. Eliminating Gold Dust.
Get into position.
But now the alt economy is firmly in Kent State's favor. And they only need that 1%.
All they have to really do at this point is capture and clean. Respawn
I will not waste this opportunity.
coming back, waiting for that Mercy, trying to get the pharmacy combo, setting up for that vertical attack, taking off Tito, doing a good job of handling it. Yeah, you kind of hate that. State trying to get into that corner, holding onto it. They're doing a good, solid job, but Kent State is able to clean house.
Respawn got dumped.
Going into overtime. There it is. Yeah, wow. Oof, indeed. As Kent State takes that map. Solidly. It feels...
Oh, please let this be the respawn dunk, because that was fun. Darn.
No! Oh, it's just solid game. Was it an ult? Solid management. And a well-played game from Kent. Ooh. Ooh, it's always bad when you only see one color across the board.
So, 1-1.
I mean, I don't know. I can't.
Maybe OSU doesn't like Ilios.
I can't put the blame on OSU.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they did anything wrong.
I think they just got outmatched. I think in a weird way, this is a very different team than we saw in that first part. But like, their Doomfist was popping hard on Kent. Like,
Yeah.
there was a solid showing, skill for skill. The biggest thing was Ohio State couldn't wear down Kent.
No.
Like it was just.
No, and Kent was
They weren't-
aggressive the whole time.
It wasn't trading. It wasn't
No.
like a 1-for-1 trade. It was just getting beaten solidly. Every kill for Ohio State came with a loss of at least 2 players. You kind of can't do that. They weren't able to maintain that. So I'm interested to see what happens going into this next map. Weird. Ohio State, very dominant in the first match. Kent, very dominant in the next one. Could it just be map preference? Could it just be experience? Could it be... Or is it Kent kind of getting a read for it, you know? Some of this game is learning how to read the opponent that's coming up, especially when we do these longer form tournaments. Like, you don't necessarily get this in quick play or even necessarily normal competitive play.
You know, something else, we didn't see any big role change-ups either on this one.
No, pretty consistent inside of who they're playing
Do you
with.
think that would have helped OSU if they had changed up a role or two? To
I honestly don't think so. I think
No?
at this point, like,
I think I'd agree.
it wasn't that they were countering hard. Like, it wasn't like, oh, here's a Farah, we're gonna counter hard with McCree. You know what I mean? It's not like there was a. It's not like they were seeing what the opponent was giving them and then dealing with it. Kent State was just answering everything that Ohio State threw for it 1-to-1. It didn't matter who they were playing. I think it speaks to really getting familiar with the characters you're playing and the hero you're choosing. So I'm interested to see going into this next map.
So the one thing that I'm still, I don't know, confused. What happened? Kent State was so dominant, but they still let OSU get the like 30-odd% that they got. There was basically a full Kent wipe. Was that just a weird fluke where someone dropped, or
I think,
did they?
I think whenever we talk about anything like this, especially when it's team-based, you have to acknowledge that when multiple people are working together with a single goal in mind, a little bit of faltering is going to happen. Like, you can't guarantee everything. And so I think, yeah, that 30% was probably due to, okay, one solid hit from a rocket or one solid punch threw us off of our shift. We have to readjust and adapt. And at that point, it's just hold out as long as you can. And then when we all wipe, take the time, reset, don't push in, let those ults recharge. I kind of think that was what happened. I think it was a negligible sacrifice.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I was hoping there was anything to analyze there, but
We'll see. Nimbani, you know, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. These hybrid maps kind of giving both strengths from what we've seen so far out of Ohio State and Kent. Let's see what happens going into this. Do we get a little bit of both? Do we see Ohio State really survive once they, really thrive once they get that first capture?
Or is OSU shook? They got rocked.
I mean, to be
they got
fair,
rocked as hard as that Robobot.
Robobot?
Yeah.
Nice.
Look, there's like two.
There's not. Oh, wait. Are you saying there's two robots? Or are you saying it's got 4 legs and that makes it 2 robots?
Yes.
Have you seen the cheetah bots?
No.
Yeah. So like, I don't remember who made it, but those like walking donkey robots that like can take a kick and then shake.
Oh, you mean like the DARPA bots?
Yeah. Have you seen the cheetah versions of that?
No.
They're like this big, like the size of like a large, like kind of like a large cat, and they can get like 28 miles an hour. And it's terrifying. They just unleash like a row of them.
Skynet cometh.
We are not far away from Bastion. Speaking of Bastion, Ohio State's setting up in that treehouse corner. The Orisa up in Bastion.
Still no big role change-ups here.
We do have. No, not really. I was gonna say we do have Prosody
Also,
rocking.
in case you noticed,
Baptiste.
the colors changed.
I got that. I have to adapt. Gold
Like
dust.
OSU.
Yeah. Gold dust. Hanging back. Taking some poke. Taking a little bit of damage. Real quick turn back.
Ooh, interesting wall.
Bye. Good job. Gold dust alive. Go pokes.
Kent is strong getting on point here.
Yeah, really.
Already 2 ticks.
And this is, again, we talked about this kind of just here a moment ago, but when we talk about those counter picks, that's a counter pick. They're setting up in that treehouse. An easy way to deal with that is run May into the walls, and that's what Tito's doing and did a good job of it. Forcing Ohio State to adapt to the perspective, but unfortunately it's not enough.
On the burn.
And Kent State is having to hold back and respawn while Ohio State kind of just chills.
Well, they're chilling now. I think they were a little worried there for a second, but
Yeah,
Respawn did great setting back up on that bridge.
Yeah. Solid pull from both sides of it. Kent State able to make it a very good, 2 ticks in. Ohio State able to come back solidly and hold that last tick from happening. But now Ohio State's shifted to the different corner, losing a little bit of that vantage point, but Kent State pushing in, hitting on that corner, Gold Dust hanging out, waiting, not wrapping around until that shield goes down, taking out the Baptiste, or at least trying to. But coming in from 2 different angles, a solid play from Kent State. Ohio State's holding his ground though. That higher ground is really doing a lot.
Still, Kent is taking 2 for every 1. Holding consistent and keeping them at that 2/3 of that last tick. Really impressive hold here from Kent State.
Kent State is just doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. They're not gaining a ton of ground. That's the only thing they think they're wishing for. They're hoping for this one big pull. A minute 30 left. They've got time to regroup, maybe once, maybe twice, but
I think we're going to see Gold Dust try and drop on that top ridge and just wipe as much as they can.
between the Blizzard and the Barrage, this is a good time to do it, as Kent State running into now 3 ults. There goes the Barrage, taking out a fair amount, but getting slept by a strong
Beautiful play.
sleep coming out of, coming out of Aimer.
Well, they got the tick. But man, what a cost.
That was a hard push and a solid defense. Not enough to keep it, but
Actually, you know, I'm gonna say that wasn't that awful of a cost. Looking at the ult economy right now,
no. It's about equal.
pretty alright
Kent
trade.
State's maybe a little bit of advantage. No, actually, it's about equal. Kent State setting up again for that treehouse.
Oh, brilliant wall.
Good,
Brilliant.
solid wall, and that's about map awareness. Being acknowledging enough of where people are placed and knowing the map, knowing, okay, I don't need to have to
Brilliant
square him
wall.
off.
Tito
Tito's
on
doing a
point.
really good job of managing defensively.
You know, we haven't seen any bad Kameko.
That's fair. I think it's a solid choice, especially going into maps like this where you've got these long ranges. And there's the team kill from Ohio State. They needed it. They're regrouping, punching and spraying.
You're right when you say they needed it. That was a pretty solid push.
2 minutes left. I mean, only a minute between where they got and where they are. It's not a lot of time spent. So Ohio State let a good amount of time pass before they actually were able to force Kent off of that that payload. Kent State. Ooh, some rough placement there from Kent as Tito and Lord Hayes getting shredded by Respawn. Wow. A strong answer from Ohio State. Kent literally were like, hey, we're going to knock on the door. We're going to take a peek. Can we do this? And Ohio State came back with a resounding, no, you can't. Sit down, son, because we were not letting you through that corner. Wow.
That's why I give a look at chat. I look at chat, and then I just see things
Chat,
dying
you will
in the
get
corner of my
answered
eye.
when the match is over. Ohio State, impressive hold.
And keeping the pressure, too.
Back down to a minute 30. They had that 3-minute advantage when they captured the point. Back down to a minute 30. And there's a long distance to go. That's not a short
Just
distance.
over 60 seconds here. This is going to be rough. Then again, Tito is down.
Gold Dust doing a little bit of backline cleanup, but it's not enough. And that treehouse is just such a strong play and such a strong placement. So long as they can keep those shields up and keep that bastion protected, it's going to be hard for them. Now, that being said, Kent State is making strong progress.
Great barrage.
Gold Dust with a huge barrage.
But was it enough?
Huh? Well,
40 seconds.
it looks like it wasn't enough. It was just enough to take out Respawn, force Ohio State back a little bit.
I'm taking care of you.
The push is coming. 30 seconds left on the clock. Not far left. Only a few more meters until you hit that point.
Only a few more, but it's so slow moving right now.
Ooh, strong shot from Manuel, taking out the the Mercy. Almost taking out the Pharaoh. Unable to, as Gold Dust responds in kind. Says, hey, you shoot me with an arrow? Cool,
8
have a
seconds.
rocket.
5.
Respawn dropping. Kent State pushing. We're in overtime. This is it.
This is it.
Kent State has to clean up off of that point. Ohio State doing a decent job of keeping them away from the payload, or at least staying on it, but is it enough?
OSU is getting melted.
Switching to the soldier, trying to get it on time, but not enough. Kent State is able to capture that second point. 1 left. Only a minute 20 left, though. They are running out of time.
And this turn right here is probably going to be the hardest part.
That being said, Kent State has the ult. They have 3 ults coming into this. It's a good area for these ults, too.
And OSU's playing it careful. They're waiting back, throwing long.
don't need, they do not need to be aggressive in this moment. All they got to do is just keep the clock going. But if they keep backing up in that corner and not getting the little picks, they just need the occasional picks.
They're going to lock themselves up, though. Especially
Big well, there
popped
goes
out.
the down. Respawn getting low, but not taken out quite
Good
yet.
rock.
Respawn still holding on to life, getting. Oh. And Ohio State able to just push back and drive back Kent.
I think that was some
Barely.
That was some good bait play, I think. I think they wanted them to get a little overconfident pulling towards their spawn and then wrap around and knock them out.
Ohio State,
20 seconds.
a little bit better on that. Doing a little bit better on that assault economy. But Tito with the Dragon Strike. Really special. There goes the Dragon Strike. Good placement. Not going to land any kills, but is forcing Ohio State off of that payload.
And it's going to go into overtime, and we're real close to point now. Less than 5 meters.
Samuel doing a great job of just getting those distance hits, keeping players off angle. That's the trick of when it comes to these kind of moments. You got to just keep them thinking about all the angles that they're getting attacked from.
Good immortality on OSU.
Samuel's doing a good job.
Oh,
Gold dust.
Great kick.
Great teleport. But is it enough to clear out Ohio State? It doesn't quite look like it just yet. Death Blossom's up and ready. There goes the Death Blossom.
It might be.
Ohio State's just touching him. That's all they're able to do, but not enough. Kent State taking all 3 points here on the first round at New Bali.
Score
My palms are sweaty.
0 to 3.
Regretting the hat.
Switching sides.
Wow. All right.
All right. So
Yeah.
remember how we were like, hey,
Okay.
there haven't been any tense moments. There haven't been any. Well, that was wrong. I regret that decision.
Did you remember your deodorant? I almost forgot mine.
I cloned up.
Yeah.
I cloned up.
Yeah.
I almost said something that I shouldn't say on here.
Clown up?
Cologned up. All right, getting back into it here in about 16 seconds. Ohio State now switching to the aggressive position. Kent State gonna try and defend. Man, if you're Kent State, what are you feeling?
I don't think you're feeling awful, but you're feeling tense. There wasn't much that you could feel really secure on that for. That was a fight.
Yeah.
That was a fight. Last round, last map was easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
But Ohio State put up a solid defense this match, and I'll be interested to see Gold Dust
Let's keep
setting
the
up,
skies clear together.
predicting a pharmacy. I'm guessing they're predicting that backside kind of dip. See if we get it, or see if Ohio State is going to go a little bit more straight down the middle.
Attackers incoming.
This is nice to see that they're scouting this far down.
Just that bolt angle too. Not giving anyone a good solid clean shot. Just a little bit poking, but also acknowledging
See through the dragon's eyes.
most of Ohio State wrapping around that left side.
Lonzo looking for a pick here.
Enemy seen.
Not going to get it.
Nope.
But Ohio State is put up on that
Good
terrace.
walls.
However, solid walls, able to lock down that top terrace. Not enough to commit to the kill, but is enough just to force respawn back. This is a little trade. Here's the thing: if Ohio State keeps with the rhythm that they've had before, they need to plan out. Gold Dust already close to a barrage. Hear them through the other room, calling for the payload. Keep down on
I will not waste this
do it.
opportunity.
That being
Gold
said,
Dust is getting real aggressive here.
just trying to hide and peek.
Oh, that's
There's a solid barrage.
It's
Good
not gonna
shield
get
though out of
anything,
Delhi.
no.
Able to force that barrage back onto Gold Dust.
Good play. A really deep Tito.
But a good example of how that strong shield play can do from that Sigma, especially when we talk about the adaptability of it, and the ability to work against those heroes. That was well planned. Hold.
Well, and talk about Frosty ready up with his shield and being involved as well.
Blizzard followed by a Dragon Strike. They're both working to just clear that space, trying to counter the other, keep the others off of that point. Ohio State about where Kent was. Around that same time, that same 150, 130 minute mark.
Pretty even so far. I'm
Two
not sure I
ticks
can
in,
give it
waiting
either
on
way.
that third. But does Ohio State have what it takes to push and get that third tick, capturing that point? Especially when we consider the ult economy. Kent State getting real close to a lot more ults.
I think it's about even on the economy. Maybe slightly more in OSU's favor for who has the ultimate. Oh, good move. Getting Deli off that upper platform.
Keeping the pressure on. And weirdly enough, Ohio State doesn't seem to have much of an answer for Goldust. Goldust getting taken out, but still the ability to come around that corner, pop in. Goldust getting respawned. Samuel waiting, charging in, trying to get a good point where he can use that Dragon Strike.
Goldust is going to have that barrage back any second now.
Respawn, dropping into tank mode, dealing with Goldust, doing a good job of cleaning up from the Kent State, but is it going to be enough to get them off point?
I don't know that it's going to be.
As Tito switching to Tracer, popping around, getting a couple of little surprise shots. Well, there it goes. And there's the third point and capture.
I think I need to stop opening my mouth. I remember last time I
Yeah,
said,
you
I don't
keep
know if it's going to be, and then it
saying
was.
almost immediately after. Kent State unable to hold that point. Ohio State gets the payload. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Interesting how even this has been.
Ohio State has the ult economy, but a lot of non-mobile ults. So a lot of stationary ults. Let's see how it's going to work versus Kent State. Are they going to try and position? Are they going to try and wait in position for those really strong lockdowns? Or are they going to just poke and prod? Goldust doing a good job of just being annoying. Sometimes that's all you need to be as a Pharah player, just annoying. Put out too much damage so they can completely ignore you. But you're so hard to hit that they have to commit to kill you. That's exactly what Goldust is doing. Goldust another. Goldust also with a barrage up. Is the dragon going to be an answer? We'll see. Oh, there's the barrage. Ooh, unable to handle it.
When you stare into the abyss looks back with missiles.
A solid barrage out of Goldust. Following it up with two individual pickups. And Kent State's able to hold Ohio State where they are. 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Not too far left for that payload to go, but only really matters. Goldust taxiing to pick up Tyrant Panda. Ducking back.
Still, this isn't too different from what happened last go around.
No, it's not. 1 minute left on this. Trying to capture that second. Ohio State doing a good job, probably keeping his players alive. Nice use that immortality shield.
Goldust down, Shenanigans down, but Goldust pops back up real quick.
Solid job of Frosty, just making sure that everyone's staying alive, everyone's keeping that heal on, and really holding that immortality. He was a little early on it, couldn't really handle that Sigma response, was able to keep everyone alive, so it didn't really matter. And they've captured that second point. 1 minute and 52 seconds left on the clock as they go for their final push.
Still pretty even with the last round.
Goldust switching it up, losing the Pharah, switching to the Reaper.
Interesting.
Got to imagine that the goal here is sneak dive because they're predicting this exact setup. Ohio State sets up on that balcony, sets up in that corner, shields off, and does a good job of kind of forcing that play, forcing their direction so that they have to respond. Can't ignore it.
Back pretty good walls. We're separating where the DPS and tanks are at. It's pretty even now. Not sure where the break is going to be.
Minute left. Solid stun. Tito doing their best to kind of respond in time. A little bit of reason away, having to think like stay alive. Respawn has the tank mode, but
OSU has
holding
the
it.
advantage.
Escorting the payload.
40 seconds left.
Respawn setting up for an ideal position. Oh no. The fact that Kent State is giving them this much time to set up here is not a good sign.
But if they can't jump up,
But if they can't jump, I guess it doesn't really matter. Gravity well getting launched up. Respawn barely staying alive, but the immortality field is keeping him just where he needs to be.
Oh, and that might be it.
Solid shredding coming out of Respawn. Well done on
15
Prophecy's
seconds.
side to keep his teammates alive. Shenanigans getting dropped. Lord Hades getting dropped. Kent State doesn't have a lot much to answer with. And there it goes. Whoa.
Ooh.
Ohio State showing what they got.
3-3.
Especially in that final push. They didn't let it linger too long. But we're down to a minute on both sides.
Initiating match.
Yeah, I agree.
Woo indeed.
Wooeth.
Woo, 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 woo.
Wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo. Woo. How you feeling, chat? It's been tense. My shoulders are tight. My back hurts.
Ready
My pecs are on fire. That has nothing to do with this match I was working out earlier.
Let's gather some gold.
Oh, did you have a chest and back day as well?
A little bit about me.
Oh.
My wife and I have started going to a trainer
Well,
who's training us how to power lift.
hey, all right.
So,
Welcome to the fray.
yeah, I did. I cleared the rack a couple days. Well, I cleared the rack like earlier this week, and I'm still feeling the pain. 10 seconds before this match starts, Kent State on the offensive. Ohio State trying to hold them back. Only a 9-second difference between the two, so time isn't really too much of a factor when it comes to
Attackers
this.
incoming.
But let's see
Defend
what
objective.
Ohio State can do to keep Kent State
Stay out of my way.
making this a 2-1. I mean, it's gonna be a 2-1.
This has just been a slog, both ways.
Kent State really positioning, holding in, doing something a little different, not going up that top route. Now,
Very fast charge in.
up till
really
this
baiting
point,
down.
they've been using that balcony as kind of a leverage zone. They don't have time for it, and they made a solid push in at the lower levels, throwing off what I think Ohio State was expecting to do, doing a good job of it, keeping Respawn up high. Tito doing a great job of managing those walls and managing those tanks. Keeping Respawn from being able to do too much damage. And Kent State get on it long enough to capture. Looks like the answer. That's what we call
3
a
to
dramatic
3.
pause.
Switching sides.
Kent State unable to lock down that point. At this point,
Initiating
OSU
match.
There's not a whole lot to say about this.
yeah, like it
It's-
kind of. Again, you don't have a ton of time to do these trades. Like it's not like
No.
a minute is not a lot of time.
Do you think it caught them off guard that they charged in so quick? They didn't really wait at all to set up for a push.
I mean, they all they did was make sure everyone was gathered, everyone was ready, and everyone knew the plan. I think what really threw them off is Ohio State was expecting, I think what they've expected so far, which was coming through that balcony, using that fair at a distance to kind of poke and prod with the goal of setting up. I think Kent
Instead,
State,
they scooped.
Attackers
Kent State
incoming.
came from underneath and kind of unexpectedly sprung that. That being said, it wasn't enough to deliver, and I will admit, in this situation, that high ground is really important. Especially when we talk about that Bastion Orisa setup in that corner, you really have to be aware of that. Gold Dust going to make some aggressive plays. It looks like going to do a little bit of that wraparound shooting.
I'm with you.
just to poke
I
and
will
prod.
not
And
waste
again,
time.
it's just a time delay at this point.
Well, I think Gold Dust is going to try and ramp up that ult as fast as possible and really, like you said, play super aggressively like he was doing before and drop in and decimate as soon as possible.
60 seconds.
Forcing those shields to come early. And also kind of forcing the direction. Now, here's what's happening. Ohio State going back up to that balcony that's so... It's so
I think this
predictable at
is a
this point, and
mistake.
it lingered for so long on him. A solid wall coming out of Samuel, able to keep that Bastion from firing off.
Even dropping respawn once.
For
They
30
don't have
seconds and
time.
aren't on point.
They don't have time to do this, and Gold Dust is only 20 away from getting that barrage.
Tito keeping those walls up and doing a good job of stall tactics. They
20
don't have time to go
seconds.
anywhere.
20 seconds.
There's no shift. What is Ohio State even going to do?
I
They
think
don't have
they've
answers.
given up
just
the
given up.
ghost.
They've just sat down.
They're going back to
15
10
seconds left.
10
Unless it's a big push suddenly.
What are you doing?
Yeah, can we see what Ohio State's doing?
OSU, what are you doing? 5 seconds.
You don't have...
They got a barrage. What are you doing?
Pushing in, trying to take care of it.
Yeah,
There it is. Now, granted, it was only one kill, but it was enough to displace.
Yeah, and it shoved you all underneath. What are you...
Well, that being said,
Okay.
they're holding a little.
Yeah, but they're half down.
And...
Nah, fam. OSU. What?
What happened? Did you guys forget there was a clock? That was, what? I'd say that was like at least 20 seconds, like 25 seconds, 30.
It was like 12 or 15 that they just kind of hung back.
Just chill.
Like, you know.
I mean, the thing is that confusion. I mean, I guess here's my thought. From Ohio State's standpoint, it didn't matter.
True. I mean, yeah, it was just a draw.
Like losing there would push the draw, and if you only had 20 seconds left. But no, it doesn't make sense. Still push that point, still get that first tick, and still win the match. I'm a little confused.
Chat, help us out here.
Yeah, did
What
we miss
happened?
something?
I don't. Like, were they waiting for the barrage? Because they waited for the barrage, and it happened, and it didn't help that they waited.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I get the concept of, like, because what? They had one down, right? So that means they were waiting for someone to
chat.
respawn.
Someone
right?
was coming back from spawn, but
But
they weren't even keeping pressure. They weren't trying to...
that was a full pullback. That was
Yeah.
a full pullback. Let's ignore the fact, right? Let's ignore the fact that they were waiting for someone to respawn. There are spots on that map where you can drop back to and then push forward again that are still close enough that you could have gotten on point faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead, they went up the street.
I think there are times you have to sacrifice the planning for just sheer gut. Here's the dead honest truth. Why didn't we see in those moments? I know it's usually a dumb play. Why didn't we see a Hammond?
Yeah.
Why didn't we see a Diva? Ohio State had nothing to lose. All they were going to get was a draw one way or another. Why not switch it up to your faster tanks? Why not do with more of a dive build instead of keeping consistently here? Throw something at them. Throw something at different. That being said, they were pulling back. They did have a player in respawn. Nothing against that. It's just I'm confused. He's confused.
So,
Volskaya?
yeah, Volskaya. But, I don't know. This is almost worrying for me.
We are going 5. So, yeah. So because of the draw on Numbani, this will actually push this into match 5. So,
But, oh my gosh. Kent was dominant on Ilios, holding points. Do you think they'll also be dominant going Volskaya?
it's a different match. It's again, it's a very different experience. I think the more clear tell will be Oasis. When we get to Oasis, I think that'll be the clearer tell of this.
I mean, from what we've seen on Ilios, I would have to give Kent Oasis. I mean, not just give it to him, but like give them the benefit of the doubt that that's going to be the easier one for them. So
I think we're hurt. I think we've been burned.
My brain hurt.
I think what happened is that wait, cut back to me. I'm gonna yell at something. let me say this. I think we got hurt. I think we were a little bit confused. I think we were expecting kind of from a broadcaster entertainer side. I think we were expecting a bigger push out of OSU at that very end. I think we were hoping for something that was more energetic. It was the last 30 seconds. I think that's what we were hoping for. I think what we got is what was.
we got a limp noodle.
I think what we got was a logical play.
Traveling to
A
Volskaya
logical
Hills.
play, pushing it to a draw, maybe because they know they have a stronger Volskaya map and a stronger Oasis map than they do on.
Do you think they came up with that idea when they got rebuffed? That's why they hung back. They just
I-
all said, no, Volskaya.
They knew
Volskaya."
their maps. They knew their maps coming into this.
We're not doing game 5 unless they draw.
Oh wait, they have to draw on this one for us to do game 5.
Yeah.
So it's just it'll be
Do
two
they know
2D1.
that?
So the way it works, because they drew, neither team gets a point.
So it's still 1-1. So whoever wins
still
game
1-1.
4 would be up 2-1.
Oh, so it's only a draw. Oh, never mind then.
So
So,
this is potentially a game point?
did they know that?
Yeah.
Do they know
Unless
that?
they draw.
Did they know that in the structure?
I don't know. I think Kevin went off the phone.
Okay, cool. So,
So if they do that,
if they
then
do
this
that,
is a
then this
200 plus
this is way
IQ
different.
play, and we're
Because
just
here's what
idiots.
happens, right? If Numbani's not your strong map, but Volskaya is, then
Then
the draw
sure.
play is good.
Yeah.
Why put out all your effort? Like,
Attackers
just hold.
incoming in 30
That being said, oh, so we'll see.
Okay, chat. Fair enough. Favorite single-player story-driven game.
Wait, we're in the middle of a tournament.
I'm gonna have to go with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? What? Get away.
Go.
Favorite single player?
Okay, if we're just going by like amount of time put into it, I'm gonna say Skyrim, just because I've
If it's
got
just about a time, it's actually
thousands of
Borderlands
hours.
for me, like the Borderlands series, because I put a
Also
lot more
fair,
out.
yeah.
The new God of War right now for me is still that. It's still
Yeah.
I'm also a big Viking.
Boy.
My wife has a joke now whenever she says boy, because we have a male dog now.
Yeah.
She forces me to also say boy, but like Kratos. Getting into it, Ohio State perching up.
Little pokes. Okay.
Get into position.
Seeing a replay of Ashland versus Akron.
This is the meta. This is the common. Throwing down those shields, burning through them, setting up in that control room. And here's the smart thing about that play. It gives you level playing field. They no longer have height advantage, the angle advantage. It is 1-for-1. Only the difference is the offensive team, when they're in that control
great
room,
wall. Saw
has
the back of the too far
that
back.
wall. Get behind me, yeah. Are they gonna get that first tick? There's the first tick. No. Penn State doing a good job of it, managing the space. Ooh, solid. Solid freeze coming out of Tito. Lord Hades getting slept,
Good push by Camp.
but Aimer getting knocked out. Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Pulling
I
back.
mean, that was
clean
pretty
cap.
clean.
defense point. Objective B.
And moving forward, this is the danger zone. How is Kent State going to approach this? So they're going up top, they're going to do the balcony drop. Missed that elevator though.
Wow, that was good boots by Respawn. Keep them off.
Now forcing them back. And again, it's the nice thing about when you work against an Orisa, if you can commit them to drop that shield just a little too early, you can force them way back because they can't push again. They don't have that opportunity if you can force them back away from that shield, and that's exactly what Respawn just did. And it was a well played maneuver. Good goal thrust. Good stuff.
With the new side evolved one. Cool dust. Thank you.
Don't acknowledge it. Don't give him credit for that.
Oh!
Gold
I
dust.
need to stop making stupid
Yeah, I
jokes.
know, on the Death Blossom. As Kent State almost able to capture that first point. There's the first tick. 5 sitting on it. 5-player kill streak. I don't know that Ohio State has the ability to take this back. They have no ults.
no.
One coming in, but there it is. They drop the Hammond. The Blizzard. No. 6-5, 6-2, 5-2, 5-1. There it is.
Okay, so remember what I said about Kent
here-
State?
Here's what we can't do. We can't make stupid jokes because then Kent State just plows through when we're not paying close enough attention. Oh, okay.
This is gonna be how this whole day is gonna go.
I feel like it is.
One of us, usually me, is gonna make a joke or look away, and something interesting is gonna happen. And
All right. So, you're OSU. You posted up a solid defense on the first point, but one good push and you were gone.
yeah.
Second point, you get smoked.
Oh, I mean, they had a good, they blocked they got the rebound and chucked
What-
it back down court.
What
but,
matches
it wasn't
were you
enough.
watching? No, they
No, they rebuffed them in between point 1 and 2 that one time.
yes, Respawn did a good
Yeah.
job of that. But once you get situated and you're in that long hallway of death, if you get smoked on as a defensive play, that's not the biggest ego boost. What do you do in the offensive to adapt to that? You've got to push
I'll
fast.
be busy soon.
Kent State has 4 minutes left on clock.
And they've got a lot of range.
Tito switching it up from the May to the Widowmaker. You got to imagine
Okay.
that getting ready for those long distance snipes. There's the booby trap.
Do you think Respawn is going to eat it hard here off the get-go?
Possibly.
Is that what they're looking
Looks like it. Although able to force the Widowmaker back out of the window, forcing Tito back out of that opening.
Maybe this is what Respawn was hoping for.
Are they going back to reset? Respawn just opening, getting an idea for the volley, and then resetting characters? Yep, there it
Yeah,
goes.
okay.
Switching to the Widowmaker to answer for the Widowmaker. Gold Dust.
Oh! Setting up the
The 1-2 of the Orisa pull, followed by that big old rock. Now trying to combat Ohio State's
good
sniper,
shot.
but not doing a good job. Widowmaker trade-off.
So far, this is totally in Kent State's favor.
They're doing a good job of just managing the expectations. Just managing exactly. Well, they're gonna try this. We're gonna adapt with this.
You should be at peak
I
power.
agree, steak milk. They're not running the basket.
Let me get you patched up.
Ohio State's trying to get her up and down behind.
Shots.
Respawn doing a good job of popping in. Gold Dust hanging back, managing both angles. It's really important on this map. You get flanked real easy on this map. So Gold Dust doing a good job of staying back, keeping eyes open. A good pull, able to throw both tanks out of place with that from Lord Hades. Dropping those shields.
Respawn and Tito have to do this back to back.
Kent State's hitting lost Gold Dust, but still able to pick up the push from
Down
hitting.
though. 80's also down. I think this might be OSU finally getting through to the point.
There's the first point. Yep, and there's 4 on it. And yep, Kent State just letting it happen. Resetting back. Now, I will say, not as confident as a take as Kent State had on the same map. Can Ohio State create that solid push that Kent State had? I mean, that was a one-run push from Ohio, from Kent. Respawn back into that fair, able to keep that funnel of death, keeping that distance and
Oh,
keeping
great pull.
good pull, firing, like knowing exactly where your fair is going to be, exactly where to force all of the enemies to the field. Ooh, getting taken out though by Gold Dust. Gold Dust doing a good job.
I think that's what he's been looking for this whole time.
Sorry, taken out by Tito.
I thought you said Tito. This is still pretty even.
Respawn going for his back lines, kind of sneaking in behind.
This is still kind of what happened on the last go-around. Just rebuffing. And then a hard push. But this seems like a more solid rebuffing.
Gold Dust jumping. Tito jumping.
Pro.
Elite strats. Spawn coming in, wearing on the shield a little bit. And again, going back to the holding it. There goes the barrage, taking out a good shot in the background, not able to finish it.
I don't know if that's going to be enough or not.
I don't know. Samuel has this Dragon Strike. Waiting to use it, waiting for that push to respond to Ken. But there's the second tick. Here comes the third. There goes the Dragon Strike. A little bit of that Hammond Wrecking Ball shenanigans. Able to force a couple of Ohio State off the point. For Kent State off the point.
Okay, I'm confused too.
I know, there's a lot of camera. There's a lot of camera switching.
Also, just a lot of stuff on the screen.
This is my will.
I know, but I should know the difference between blue and red.
Damage amplified.
There's a difference.
Thanks for the assist.
I forgot you're a cat.
Dog, actually.
Can cats see color?
I think so.
This is a weird conversation I have in the middle of the
Let's
game.
get this
Tito doing a long distance sniper. Getting hit. Samuel doing a good job on that Hanzo v Hanzo. Trying to manage the Doom Fist.
This is
Keep
just
it alive.
This is a barroom brawl. We haven't really seen any major alt play.
And
That's,
a ton of trades. None of the ults really propped up. Goldust about to walk into the Meteor Strike.
Will made real.
see, by the way, I used my walk.
I'm so just want to open pump slap for that joke. No one watched
It would have been. It would have been better if he had actually done it as I said.
Yes.
I will.
Respawn doing a good job getting that vertical takedown. Doing a couple of those, getting that barrage. There's the barrage. Is he going to be able to lock it? No! Tito with the response saying, no thank you. I don't like that barrage. Stop doing that, please.
Repair the damage.
This is a little worrying. Just over 60 seconds, and they've still got a whole nother tick.
Please move behind the barrier.
Definitely not the strong push that Kent State had. Ohio State definitely feeling the pressure now. 1 minute left. If Kent State can just keep them off for another 60 seconds, that's game.
Seconds remaining.
Goldust shreked.
Heroes never die.
Probably gonna be the last push. Let's see if how they manage this economy.
40 seconds.
Ohio State dropping both of their ults a little early on, but getting 4 on the capture.
30 seconds remaining.
And still no ult play.
Nope, but there it is. They're getting there. They just got to clean off Lord Hades. Lord Hades doing the best he can with the wrecking ball, but unable to keep himself alive. But just enough time for the rest of his team to come barreling in. Can Kent State force Ohio State into a position where they will not be able to hold it? 10 seconds left.
Meteor strike doesn't do a whole
5, 2, 4, and there it is. I say that too fast. So close.
Only 8%.
Into overtime. And there it is. Oh. Woo. Okay. Okay. So,
So cool, they got it.
yeah.
But this is an uphill battle now.
You gotta hold that first point
4 minutes?
Initiating
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
That's a long time, especially when we consider how quickly Kent State was able to capture it on that first go around. Ohio State's gotta be sweating right now.
Do they have sweat left? This has just been a brawl, but just. I don't have sweat left. My palms are now dry.
Palms are sweaty.
Knees weak.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More like Boris.
attackers.
I wish I was good at comedy. Chat's good at this.
It's puns. Puns are
Quadruple check
puns are
your
in
mouth.
comedy.
I mean, kinda.
Puns are the comedy of the masses.
Still with you.
Oh, so pedantic and
Look, I can't tell the difference from blue and red, so don't really pay too much attention to what I say. Ohio State setting up high. No Bastion play again. We had talked about this earlier. You'd think.
Well, chat pointed it out, so props to the chat.
Props to chat. You'd think you would think that in a situation like this, you would do your best to try and just create that killing field. I'd expect a Bastion here out of Ohio State, but nope. They're not going that way. Instead,
Not really
running
focusing on a
Urisa.
hard point, just focusing on mobility and
Yeah.
depth ball.
Ooh, solid stun coming out of Shenanigans there.
Dual
Good
barrel
arc,
play.
hitting the spawn.
Oop, okay, Kent is getting melted a little bit.
Gold Dust doing that damage. I will give it up though. Good note from Prosody doing a good job of switching between the DPS and the backlines, keeping them alive. That is not an easy thing to do. Samuel taking out Gold Dust from a distance. Penn State got a couple on the point, not enough to capture. All they gotta get is that one tick, 3 minutes remaining.
Okay, cool. Good job, OSU.
Kent State
You're
pulling
down
back.
a minute now.
Kent State pulling back, trying to regroup a little bit.
All you gotta do is that 3 more times.
Gold Dust, get some distance, but man, Respawn is just answering to Gold Dust. Every shot Gold Dust fires at him, Respawn fires a little bit cleaner and a little bit better. It also doesn't help that Samuel's doing a good job of managing that verticality.
I feel like I would like to see Gold Dust not run Pharaoh right now.
I don't think they have a choice not to. Honestly, I don't know that. Nothing against Samuel. I know that Hanzo is a solid enough manager, so that's fine.
Oh my god, dude, this melting the
Just
tanks.
a cluster of everything happening. Ult after ult after ult. Coalescences are both cross-firing each
Respawn and
other.
Frosty are down though.
Gold Dust down. Tyrant Panda down.
That might be the opportunity. Can Kent State get back faster than OSU can?
I don't think so. OSU still having all of them back up while Kent State is waiting on 2 to respawn. That being said, Kent State has that Dragon Strike, has the Valkyrie,
2 minutes.
to which the Barrage, Valkyrie, and Boost coming out of Ohio State will be really hard to handle with. Let's see what happens. Distance, managing that barrage. Can't. This is where all the time is really important, making sure you manage it.
Dragon down.
Tito firing the dragon, kind of clearing out that left side, maybe forcing away so he can push through to the left instead of the right. But honestly, Ohio State's just adapting for it. Are we gonna get around 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining? Kent State still has not gotten to that
Oh,
first
Respawn
pick.
down. Gold Dust takes the...
There's a barrage out of Gold Dust taking down a couple of backline. Jelly getting moved, BM Cool getting moved, Amber getting down.
This might be what they needed.
And there it is. That first tick.
Okay.
And there it is. Kent State taking match 2. Well, match 4, technically.
Yeah.
Taking their second.
They had me a little worried for how slow it was, but I think that was kind of their plan. They knew they had 4 minutes.
And I'm looking to confirm that means Kent State has won and Ohio State.
Okay.
Solid.
That was
Solid
yeah.
performance. Good game out of both sides. Whew. Whew. Ohio State really just doing their best to drag it to that last moment, but oh mercy,
I don't know that they did anything wrong. I think they just got a little outplayed.
I think
Maybe a little shook.
man,
a little shook.
a little bit. I
Little
think
bit.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm legitimately like trying to think what to say. That like to give Ohio State or anything. Kent State just steamrolled, especially Volskaya. We're seeing these moments of them like flaring. Like we're seeing moments of Kent State kind of like picking up and suddenly exploding with this energy and suddenly exploding with these fantastic combos and plays.
I don't think maybe this is the point you were getting to. I don't think it's the question or the consideration of like the team being superior. I think it's just that Kent State has got a little bit more individual pop-off potential.
Potentially, to me, it's just more circumstance. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I think Kent State is able to capitalize on those little advantages much faster and stronger. I think you give again, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but you give Kent State an inch and they're going to take a mile.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened is Ohio State, whether or not consciously or not, gave Kent State just a little bit, just gave them a little bit of an advantage, thinking,
It's
okay,
true.
we'll give them
They
this.
did play a little more safe a lot of the time.
And they'll say, like, okay, we'll give them this, but we'll respawn with that. And before you're able to respawn, Kent State swarms you.
Yeah.
They basically zerged this whole match.
This is a Blizzard game.
Yeah, so that's why I could say it.
I got nothing more to say. You're right.
All
You're right.
Well, with that lovely pause, we'll be back here in about 5 minutes, folks.